A dim field, no color yet, only the hint of shine. Sound, hush, before sound, before strike. Smeller held still, clean, faint, untouched by heat. Taste the mouth neutral, waiting, no sweetness, no burn. Body weight settles in the hand, shoulders soften, breath draws in. Mind attention sharpens, nothing has begun, yet everything is ready. What is art? A body moving truth before belief. Metal, silver white flashes sharp and bright. Cold light cuts into sight. Clang, clang, steel on steel, the echoes land, ringing clean through open hands. Iron in the air, dry and keen. A wake-up scent, precise, unseen. Bitter, thin, metallic taste, like holding a blade in the mouth. Small space, lift, drop, strike, exact align. Wrist remembers measured time. Scattered thoughts are pulled in line, forged into rhythm, steady mind. What is art? A sound that teaches silence how to breathe. Creation begins in the flow of color and line. What was tight begins to unwind. Emotion loosens and silence learns how to hum, how to burn. What is art? A taste that's bittersweet and hard to name. Water, blue and gray dissolve the frame. Drifting hues that won't hold names. Drip, drip, flow, slide and circle, soft and slow. Salted mist and breathe in space. A distant tidal smelling trace, cool and clear. A gentle sweet first, clean water the tongue can meet. Pour, turn, seep, release control. Let motion soften what was whole. Memory loosens, learns to bend, staying true yet free again. What is art? A body moving truth before belief. Through the motion of your hands, old knots soften past unbands. What is art? The moment hands begin before the mind. Brown and green and layered grain, time rings written not in vain. Scrape, scrape, blade follows lines it does not break. Reason rises warm and deep, living scent the hands can keep. Dry and mild, a muted tone, like years the tree has held alone. Guide, not force, the hands comply, tracing paths that don't deny. Tangled feelings ease their hold, finding order in the fold. What is art? The smell of dust right after something breaks. Remembering buried joy, innocence deep, stirs awake from hidden sleep. What is art? A flash of light that wasn't there before. Fire, orange sparks before the eyes. Red breath flickers, lifts, then flies. Crack, pop, flame speaks fast, then settles hot. Smoke turns sharp, then thins to air. Burns sweet, traces everywhere. Bitter warmth upon the tongue, gone as soon as it's begun. Lean in, pull back, feel the rise. Heat insists but never cries. Sleeping will begins to move, drawn by warmth it can't refuse. What is art? Seeing clearly after all the smoke is gone. Creation is not a skill on display, but a purification, a calling away. Art is not an extension of tools, but a baptizer of souls, a breaker of rules. What is art? The breath of earth when everything slows. Umber, clay and grounded tone, heavy stillness finds a home. Thud, press, soft resistance answers yes. Soil and dust, a steady smell. Breath slows down, the chest knows well. Mild and dense, a quiet taste, like rain held long inside a place. Press, turn, hold, then let it be. Form arrives naturally. Floating thoughts at last descend, resting where the motions end. What is art? A knowing that arrives without a thought. A warreness, stillness settles, breath pauses, not empty but aware. What has taken form no longer moves, yet something begins to notice. What is art? A rhythm finding order in the noise. Sound inversion, those tangled fragments start to align, breaking open frame by frame. Light and shadow stack and slide, layer by layer come to sight. Beat by beat, a pulse appears, wave by wave. The sound draws near. What was scattered now is clear. What was silent we learn to hear. What is art? Remembering who you were before the weight. The gesture of creation, ascent, an awakener of wisdom long concealed, a living guide that can be felt. When creation moves through weary layers, it holds you gently, stays with the weight. Sacred wind brushes dust aside, and the soul once still begins to shine. Inner light finds its arc, a path remembered in the dark. Wisdom shrouded ignites once more, radiant, steady, pointing north. What is art? A lingering trace that stays when words dissolve from this place. You no longer just endure, the burden lifts, the core feels sure. Dust falls away, a seed ignites, light emerges into sight. The inner flame, once dim, once still, is brushed awake by artful will. Now a light, it will not fade, it leads you home, spreads seeds of light, soft